Good evening, it's Seth at Houghton Lodge. Now, we've done most of the work on these berms with the gravel in the river and got the flow moving about a bit and the river meandering again, still within its width. So what they're doing now is that they're putting the gravel in to raise the beds and create spawning areas and somewhere for these fish to lie as well. So if you imagine the bottom of the river to be like a giant chessboard, what he's trying to do is he's trying to put sort of 2 heaps of gravel on every black square. Now each bucketful we think is about 1/3 of a tonne, so there's quite a lot going in. He's already raised the bed level and now he's making these humps and holes, which is where the fish will spawn, the wild fish, and the salmon hopefully, and it'll also create a riffle on top of the water. You can see where I am, I'm just sort of below that footbridge that goes across to Houghton Club. So he's actually looking at the water, letting it clear a bit, and then going back and putting a bit where he thinks it's not quite deep enough. This gravel should hold together, we hope. If we get a really bad flood, it might sort of level itself out a bit, but once we get ranunculus growing on top of these humps, if you like, it'll hopefully hold it all together again with a bit of root when it gets hold with this native weed that we're going to put in. So that's what he's doing there. He's building the bottom of the river up to create spawning grounds and create fish lies. They're doing it really carefully. There's clean water coming down, so he just sort of does a bit one place and then lets it clear a bit and get rid of all the silt off the gravel, and then put some more in. Okay, this is just above the bridge. This is how it was. Flat bottom, silty bottom, no gravel at all, and a fairly even flow right across the riverbed and across the river top. Now, I want to alter that and get it to have a little bit of a riffle on top of the water. That's looking up sort of towards the top bend, up at the top of the beat. Okay, this is what he's done to the bed now. This is exactly the same place. You can see he's lifted the riverbed considerably and it's now gravel, which is once again spawning grounds. These insects like gravel better than they do silt, although blue-winged olives like silt. That's a hole that you can see that it comes up to a ridge. And these are all going to be places where fish want to go, and it's going to gather little bits of food up as this river comes down. And it's going to drop in these holes, and hopefully these fish will sit there and they'll take the dry flies that are coming over the top of them. Reduce the river depth here considerably, which is quite well holding the water back on the top bend already and into that shallower section higher up. But as you can see, he's lifted it, then there's a little hole there, and back up again. And this is right away across the river. It's like an upturned egg box, if you like, that you've got holes and humps right across the riverbed, and the sort of alternate, I should say. That's looking down now, that's the riffle on top of the water. That's just the effect of this gravel going in and these holes that's doing that. We come through, that riffle's been made by the water travelling differently over the riverbed. There you go, a little bit of an update. Thank you.